Here's section 2. I'm going to play it and then teach it. Here we go then. Okay, here's section 2, lick number 1. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first thing you may have noticed is I'm using hybrid picking on this because we need to put an open A note between our high notes. So we have to kind of intersperse here. So what we're going to do first is play an open A note. And then, in this 7th position, we're going to start with a C sharp and bend a G up to A on the 2nd string with our 2nd finger. Just quick bend. Then release the bend, push it back up, release it in again. Then open A again. Then you're down in the 5th position, barring across the top 2 strings at the 5th fret. Double stops, 2 notes played simultaneously, D and F sharp at the 7th fret. I do that with 2 fingers rather than 1 finger as a bar. I can get more accuracy that way. Push them both up. I'm using my fingers to grab those notes and push, pull, and pluck them. Bend them up. Then bar with my 1st finger across the 5th fret. Smear the notes a little bit across the board. Bend them a little bit. And then wind up on the 4th string, 7th fret. Here's what that part sounds like again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pardon the little sharp bending there. Now we're going to start here for the 2nd half of that lick. So it's a little tricky too. Start with an A triad here in the 7th position. A, C sharp, and E. Play the A with your pick. Take the 2 notes of the triad, pluck them with your fingers, slide down a whole step, and then replace your 3rd finger on G at the 5th fret of the 4th string. Right? Then I let go of the whole thing and bar across strings 3 and 2 at the 2nd fret with my 1st finger. Play those 2 notes, and then strings 3 and 2 open. Then I'm going to play string 4 and go chromatically down from the 2nd fret to the open note. Look at my fingers. 2, 1, open. Then the 5th string open. 3rd fret of the 5th string, bend it a little bit. Then I get a nice snap with my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string on the A note. Now, let's go back and listen to what that entire lick sounds like at a slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's section 2, lick number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting in the open position, I play the 4th string open. Then I play chromatically from the 2nd fret of the 4th string up to the 4th, using fingers 1, 2, and 3. And then fingers 1 and 3 at frets 2 and 4 of the third string. Then I go to fret 3 of the second string. Notice I'm plucking it with my middle finger, which gives my pick the leeway to play the fourth string of the fourth fret of the fourth string. And I'm going to take that shape, move it down chromatically till I get to the first position. Here's what that sounds like in its entirety. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's section number 2, lick number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this has got a lot of those Albert Lee little trademarks in it, those little trail offs that just kind of come out of nowhere. Let me show you how he does it. We're going to start in the second position, barring across strings 4, 3, and 2 with your first finger. You're going to play string 4 with your pick, strings 3 and 2 with your middle and ring fingers respectively. So start by plucking strings 3 and 2. Come down and play string 4, and then the double stops on strings 3 and 2 are B and D, or string fret 4 and fret 3. Play them plucking with your fingers and play chromatically up in half steps. And you want to make them very staccato. So after each one, I put my fingers back on the strings to stop them from ringing. Then I moved up quickly to the 7th position, and I'm going to play strings 3 and 2 at the 9th fret and 8th fret respectively. I'm going to pluck them with my fingers, and then I'm going to trail them off. Just hit them and trail them off down the neck to nowhere. And wind up somehow with your third finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string. Watch me do it slowly. 3, 4. It sounds kind of awkward slowly, but when you get it up to tempo, it just has a nice feel about it. So when you get that 4th string, then you're going to flatten your third finger out and bar across strings 3 and 2. Plucking the fingers. Then bar across strings 3 and 2 at the 5th fret and hammer onto the 6th fret with your second finger on the 3rd string. Then with your pick, go down to the 4th string, 7th fret, and play chromatically down to the 5th fret. That's a little confusing. Let's go back and listen to what that whole section sounds like, that whole lick. 3, 4. Now let's go one better and go back to the beginning of section 2 and review what all that sounds like up to this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four. 3, 4. Excellent. Here's the 4th lick of section 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Three, 4. Okay, in the open position, first 2 strings open. I pluck them. The rest is single notes. On the 3rd string, from fret 3 to 2 to open. 4th string, fret 2, open. String 5, frets 2 to 1 to open. Then fret string 6 open. fret 3, and then back to string 6 open. And here's what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last lick of section 2, here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Again, in the second position, start with the open 5th string and play chromatically from fret 2 to fret 4 on the 5th string. 1, 2, and 3. Then, on the 4th string, frets 2 and 4, and back to 2. Now here's one of these Albert Lee tricks. It's a kind of a, I call it the little Albert Lee skip. Most people would go, but Albert goes. So what I'm going to do is play the 5th fret of the 3rd string with my pinky, or whichever one's stronger actually. A lot of people have 3rd finger is stronger, but mine pinky's stronger for some reason. I'm going to play the note, and then play it again, and then pull it off to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Then the 4th fret of the 4th string, then back to A at the 2nd fret of the 3rd. And here's what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's what section 2 sounds like in its entirety at a slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4.